write something, start by making the pen sweat. You just like draw some, and then you start talking. So now everyone's kind of relaxed, so we can do like the real thing when you're ready. Are we ready? Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Nizar Ben Chekroun. I'm from Marrakesh, Morocco, and I am glad to be here with you today. We're going to be talking about how B2B platforms are needed today to create a new revenue stream for artists. And why am I a good person to tell you about that? Because I'm a collector, and I've been collecting a lot of different things, from digening to fine art to not fine art to scams to whatever. And I just understood that there is a gap in this industry. When I understood that, I was like, how do I finance that? Where do I find right people to help me finance this project and who they are? Because at the end of the day, after 2 years, after making millions, losing millions, making millions, losing millions, making millions, losing millions, we're like, okay, now we need to focus on doing something reliable, something that is sustainable for people. How do you put the love up front? I just realized that I love artists. I'm not an artist, but I love them. I love them for what they do. They're doing things with their heart. And I do believe that their heart and their love will make things go way faster than anything that we've ever seen. So when you plug an NFT to anything that you're selling, because it's filled with the love of someone for his vision of his own truth, it will make it go faster, faster and faster and more sustainable. So all these brands that today are trying to reframe their story and recreate their own story and to be a more social impact to people, they will want at some point to partner with artists. So who they are, where they are, it's what we've been doing for a few years. And it is my utmost pleasure to introduce you to our guest today. So we have Grida. She's going to tell you who she is and what she does. We have Dario De Siena with his beautiful daughter, and he's going to tell us who he is and what he needs and why he needs that. This is my friend Masna. Masna is a graph artist from New York City. He comes from Argentina, Colombia, which is very close to Colombia, but he comes from Colombia. And we have my friend Taylor What the Fuck, which is also one of the early artists that I started buying. So, Grida, tell us more of who you are, what you do, what you love, and what do you feel as being a need for you in the space?
I think I explained pretty much at the beginning. I am a curator who does NFT art and crypto art exhibitions, and I'm a simple girl. Hey, Ingrid! I'm a simple girl, and I really believe the true relationships, and that's the reason why I'm really in love with this Web3 scene, because I really can find the people who really believes the same spirit and same value. At the time, first I know them without face, without voice, just knowing that we have the same value, and then now we meet in real life. Usually in the physical experience, we just meet in real life and then we just talk like that. But what's interesting thing is in Web3 is we don't know anything about who we are first, and we just share the value first, and then we meet in real life. Then I say, hey, it's been a while, not like hello. So that was really interesting. The community, we always say communities. Like for me, it's also community is very interesting. And now we are moving another step. That now NFT is a revolution. I think this is last year. Then now with this revolution, what do we build? That's the matters for this year, I think. So I was there last year, NFT Paris, and then second year edition. This is amazing. So yeah, so
Thanks
yeah.
a lot. Thanks a lot. I'm coming back with a few questions to you, but I'd like you first to warm up the stage and tell us who you are and what you do. So Dario, please.
Yeah, so again, I'm Dario De Siena, a Swiss painting artist. Entered the NFT space in 2021, like really early. And after success of selling my art as NFTs, was also able to collect and start like connecting in the collector scene. And yeah, I'm really made a lot of great connections to brands, to people, to like collectors, artists. Like I was able to collaborate with many artists. As a Swiss painting artist, it's really hard to get out. So a digital space like that is just was really needed. And yeah, why it needs someone like me. My art is always about try and fail and try again and learn from it. So it's like really, it needs kind of me in this space to, yeah, make mistakes and then learn from it and get better and get stronger. So that's why I'm here.
This is really good. This is the mindset. You will learn by doing mistakes, otherwise you don't learn. Masna, please.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Mazna, Laura Mazna, and I am a graffiti artist from young, turned into NFT creator. And I joined the space around the similar time than Dario, who is a crypto punk. These little pixelated beauties, I fell in love with them as a graffiti artist in this time, and I started painting them. And I went in the Discord, which are these spaces where the communities hang out, and I started making friends with the crypto punks, with the devs, with the creators of the collection, and I found a niche for my work. I found a new group of collectors that believed in what I was proposing. And through that, and me being very prolific and painting in every city that I went to, I've built a career where now my graffiti is known to be kind of the graffiti of these
And punks and
of these PFPs or avatars that people represent themselves with. And the beautiful part, or one of the biggest lessons I've learned in all this as an introduction, is that behind these little pixelated images that are worth 10 million one day and 2 cents the next or whatever, there is beautiful people. And it's kind of this unity, and the people that are behind the typing that she was talking about, and the people that are behind the art. I've been an admirer of him for since I opened the space, since I went into the space, and we just met 2 minutes ago too.
And he introduced me to him 2 minutes ago, and I said, "Come
So
on
it's
stage."
2 minutes, 2 minutes.
But I was
But
buying
it's-
his stuff few years ago. So.
But we all been thinking the same things for years. We've all been experienced the same kind of art and the same kind of change in the world. And there's this beautiful thing that I like to say about NFTs, and it's internet art. So it's allowed us to make art as a community, as not one person. The people that created the internet didn't know each other. They're in different places of the world, just kind of creating. And this is a beautiful thing about NFTs. We can create without knowing who we're creating for or why we're creating it, put it in the world. And yeah, I think that's kind of my job.
So Taylor, who are you? Tell us more about you.
I'm Taylor, what the fuck? I started in the space as a collector. I bought my CryptoPunk for $100 in 2017. Pretty early
You need
there.
to upload that.
That's a $100 point.
Not bad. But then I've done a lot of other stuff, so I bought a bunch of Bored Apes early. But I really had my early success in the space actually reselling Dario's work. He was one of the first artists I collected, and I just really resonated with his work, and I could tell I had a feeling we were early in the space and that he was gonna blow up, and I was right. So was able to resell a lot of that, then buy Bored Apes, and from there I've been able to sell my own work as well. So I've sold like $500,000 in music. I dropped a generative project that sold $2 million in 15 seconds. And yeah, just like this entire space has changed my life. I was living in a van in 2021. I had $5,000 and I just went hard. And it worked out really well for me. But also the only reason it really worked out was because of all these great people around me. The community is what brought us all together and what pushed us up. So for me, this space is about community. It's about connecting, and it's about trying to make sure that like artists and the people who are like really here building are getting the benefits and the rewards.
So here is my guess, okay? And that's what I'm focused on, what I'm building today. My guess is that these guys, and we have many other artists, amazing artists in the space, who are doing exactly what these guys are doing. So they have their own followers, community, buyers. They have their own market. I do believe that if you take off all the speculation process, if you take off the money, and if you look at an NFT just as a proof of being part of this community or being part of this, and you think ahead of your time, because part of my job is living in the future and trying to build what's missing when I come back. So if you build something a few years from now, you believe like many brands will be there, they will all want at some point to get connected to artists so that they can build with them. But for that, they will need a platform. I do believe what we have today is exactly like Internet 95. And I do believe, with all the respect that I have for the platforms that we have today, OpenSea and all of them, this is like Craigslist or eBay. You don't have niche platforms. And we need that. I'm telling you this, the space is filled with artists, and we do not have any platform which is linking artists with brands or organizations yet. So my question to you guys is, how would you feel if tomorrow, for example, Nike is trying to find an artist in Colombia, and you will have like a platform to choose from gender, type of art, how they can work within each other with a smart contract, KYC'd, and build on top of that. How would you feel? Would you feel comfortable giving or selling your art there?
Yes, those big name brands are very difficult because a lot of the times there's a disconnection between the name brand and all it represents and the creator. But I think that is very needed. And in Latin America, we did an event in 21 in October called Key to Crypto, where we just went and talked and opened wallets and minted people's works. And from that little independent thing, there's maybe 200 creators that are now minting. They sell an NFT every once in a while. In Colombia, it's a lot of money. And so I think it's very needed. And if the right people like you with the right mentality do that connection, because I'm very skeptical, because I come from graffiti and from underground and all these other things. But of course, I would like to collaborate with a huge name and be able to get my name bigger out there.
As long as
but
it's
there
fair.
is that person, you are very important. There is this person that's in the middle that tells them that we're important and that tells us, hey, they need you. So I think that dialogue is very important.
Because I do believe today is when you sell your art, you have two ways to do it. The creative way, and like let's put that in perspective. This guy is a graffiti artist. So he's like tagging on the street. And he's making revenue stream through NFTs. This is crazy if you look at it from this standpoint. So, but at the end of the day, you are in a place where you are waiting for someone to come in a platform, buy your stuff, or you being advertising this on Discord or Twitter. And on the other hand, what Grida is doing, which is going way more creative today, is going to a gallery, looking at it, saying, I like it, I want to buy it. But this is being passive. How can we be active into like not selling art like if it was just something that like a commodity, but at the end of the day, how can we make a safe revenue stream for artists from all over the world and put brands on top of that? What do you think about that, Taylor?
How do you make a... Can you repeat the question just kind of short?
Yeah. How would it change? Imagine like when you were in your van, when you had only $5,000 and you were still doing your art, you were still an artist. It's not because you made money that you're not an artist anymore. But how would you feel if there were a platform where a brand could come and say, hey, Taylor, I like your work. Can we work it out? Would you feel like, oh, it's a huge, big brand. It's difficult because they're going to eat me? Or would you feel like I would love to work with them? How would you feel about that?
So I've had the opportunity to work with a few big brands in this space, and it's always a little tough. Like I'm not a businessman. I'm not, I'm an artist, right? So communicating with people, working out deals, making sure that I'm actually like getting the stuff and that I have the tools I need. All of that is outside of what I normally do. So having that support from somebody who is obviously been in the space for a while and understands it, that'll be super huge and invaluable.
I have a question about the middleman, okay? So we've been all doing this for years in the space by saying we are killing the middleman. So that was what we were saying. I didn't believe in that at all. At all. Because when you look at OpenSea, how do you kill the middleman? They take 2.5%. They're talking now because they're like lowering the royalties because they have other platforms pushing them into their limits. So how do you build something that not only belongs to the artists, but also belongs to the community? Like, how would you feel, you, Dario, if we tell you, for example, let's build a platform where you can not only be connected to other big brands that you love to wear or work with or like, or maybe organizations because you want to help a cause or whatever, but we tell you, For that, you need to design a piece of art that you give to a DAO, which is linked to that brand, that platform, and that DAO belongs to everyone. Like, would you feel comfortable about that?
Tricky question, actually.
Yeah, I know, because it's like asking to Picasso to give you something for free, you know. So, yeah.
So I mean, like, yeah, for me it's also like I hate contracts, I hate spreadsheets, I hate everything what has to do with business actually. But I always have to learn it because it's like needed in this space. But yeah, I think like if the connection is always on the side where you think there is an equal kind of thing, so your worth's the same than the other person or the brand itself, then it makes a lot of sense for me. Like when you really already feel like a really small dot on the planet and they are everything, then you already know you're crushed somehow because they can just say, I don't like to work with you anymore, and then you have to step up again and again.
That is why a smart contract is the solution, because if you
Yeah.
have an NFT and smart contract, if you do that on the blockchain, they cannot like trick you and go back. It's like whenever your art is sold, you get your royalties, and it's like a perpetual goodwill. So that's why the big ones, it's not like David against Goliath. It's like putting you on the same stage and saying like, we're equal today. You need us, but you need us more than we need you, because you bring money, we bring value. That's the way I see it. And I'll give you the mic, but just after you answer that, I'm gonna ask something to Greta.
Yeah.
But go for it.
Well, the work that I'm known for is I sold bricks to do a wall in New York. So I had people commission me for doing graffiti of their punk, of their ape, and if you buy the brick, then I'll paint your thing. And this 2 years later has created a community of 76 people from all different communities that represent each other like a graffiti crew, and they come here and they hang out together and they chat all day. And I think that's the value of like creating these projects, not knowing where they're going, but with like a good heart. That you know, like you start like finding good people, and they find you, and you all communicate, and you find ways to grow together. And I think I don't
Yeah,
know
I
if
think
that
it's doing it with a
adds
good heart.
anything.
I think this is the question. So, Greta, I have one last question for you, and I'll give you the stop. So the question is, would you feel like a platform like that would be a competitor to what you're doing, or an aggregator? Would you feel like if a platform would do like it would take off like some of your artists to that platform, it will lose your what you're doing, or no?
It's not the spirit for Web3, actually. There's no competition for Web3. And now all my good friends, they work for Super Rare, Nifty Gateway. They have a beer together at the end of the day, and then they talk about their things, what's going on. So we share. Sharing is amazing value for what we have in Web3. It's not a competition. This is a collaboration, and this is the harmony. Actually, when we share the information together, actually we can make things better, faster. So for me, that because of that, so all the galleries, you pointed the middleman. I'm the middleman because I do the galleries. But the thing is, all the other marketplace, they are receiving the middleman name of superior space, Nifty Gateway publisher. So middleman is necessary because we need some glue between artist and the company. And we need people like Nizar. Hey, artist, it actually is this one. And hey, company, actually this way. So this kind of position, agencies and middlemen, they are the one who can make the situation smooth and better and faster, I think. So yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. We wish we had more time to ask you what you think, bring your questions. Feel free to ask us. These guys are amazing. Once again, you might be seeing today here the next Picasso. And you have to breathe with that. I know where he is, but this is your call. Love you guys.
Thank you so much. Merci beaucoup. Merci.